Hello there, this is going to be Libra Extended Monthly Tarot reading for August 2018. So we're going to do two spreads, and the first one is going to focus upon career for Libra, and the first card for that is going to be the Two of Swords. Then we do have the next card that is going to be the Temperance. Afterwards we do have the Five of Pentacles, and the last one that is going to be the Seven of Pentacles. So Libra's the Two of Swords here points that this month is going to be rather more inactive, in a sense of pushing big things through. Now, I don't want to say it, you know, but these cards are speaking for that you have been deceived of the productivity of a certain project or a certain job. The very well you may be, as a matter of fact, lied that you are going to receive a certain project, or you are going to be you are going to receive a raise, or you are going to receive a promotion. Now, this is displayed here in the Five of Pentacles, so in conjunction with the Seven of Pentacles, having the Temperance into a challenging position. It does speak that you are going to start more and more becoming aware of that, you know, what have been promised to you will not take any place anytime soon. So that's why the topic here is you starting to consider, you know, your other options available, and as well realizing that there is some sort of a missing, either an information or a missing circumstances as well, you know, and in general you will start placing doubts into the people that you are working for and for the companies or the activities that you are doing again as well, excuse me, because you will start obtaining not a different perspective, but let's say you will be able to see your situation from a different angle. That is displayed here by the Two of Swords. However, it is very advisable not to take any decision at this particular month, but just observe how the things are unfolding here. Because if you do it right now, it will look like, you know, you have just left an awesome opportunity, because yet the situation itself has not been revealed in its full extent. That is displayed with the Two of Swords. And not to mention that if you kind of like make that harsh decision right now, where you are gonna go afterwards, you know, I mean, you need to have some sort of a plan B here, which these cards are pointing that you don't. But if you patiently wait, then the choice which you need to make, where you have to go after, you know, you kind of stop involving yourself with futile activities, will become obvious for you. So it's kind of like here, this month regarding your career it will be the month where you will no longer play the fool in one stage. The Temperance card into a negative position here points that it will be very hard for you to reach in an understanding and agreement with the people that you're working for, you know. So if you expect them to place themselves into your shoes, then obviously that is not going to happen with that card. And as well, you need to kind of like be prepared for very bruising standpoint and opinions that are going to come in your way. And the Temperance points that the majority of the work that you will have to take on will be annoying and aggravating as well. And this is exactly what will start making your mind ticking into the direction of that. Probably you have to make a reprioritization here. Probably you will have to start either searching for another job or searching for another partners, you know, or in generally reassess your involvement into the project that you're working at. The Five of Pentacles here into a positive position does represent the awareness, you know, that the monetary success is not everything. And at the end, if you are going, for example, at your working place with anointment and with a great portion of despondency, then obviously this isn't working out very well for you, regardless of how well you are paid, you know. But of course, you may have a family to feed, and that's why you should not take any irrational decision here for the duration of this month. But mostly you have to, let's say, do what it is expected from you, okay, without you actually putting any extra effort into the performance of what you're doing. The Five of Pentacles as well points that your pain is going to be shared, you know, probably with a coworker or someone who very much will sympathize you, and they may get themselves involved into you finding a different job, which is going to be much more pleasant. And the Five of Pentacles as well points that outside of your job, that goes a little bit outside of career here, is that you're going to find some sort of an activity or an enterprise which is going to kind of abate the tension that you're going to build up during the working day. So it's kind of like you're going to find an amusing hobby or an amusing, you know, as I said, enterprise here, which is going to recharge you for the next day. And then we kind of jump into the Seven of Pentacles, which is the final outcome, where you seriously starting considering continue on working whatever you're doing with the same extent. All right, so this is where probably you may stand against your boss, slamming on the table and saying, no, you know, I will not do that for such little money, for example. Or it could be that I did so much, you know, and you are not appreciating me, so obviously I don't have a place in that company, etc., etc. But this card also points that you will not do that without having a plan B this time around, all right? Because you will know that very fateful event is just around the corner, which could signify your saving plan, in a sense of that, you know, you may have another job waiting for you, and it is where you will make your demands most likely. But the Seven of Pentacles regarding career, it is not a very optimistic card. It does also put a barrier here for improvement into your current place that you are working right now. So you have to prepare for this month, you know, to be a month of let's say boredom and annoyment, and you can use that month regarding your career to reconsider, as I said, your involvement into the projects and how much you throw in, because probably you are throwing from yourself much more from what you get, and that has to stop. And the worst thing here is that nobody asks you to do that. I mean, you don't have to throw everything you got, you know, you just need to you just need to involve yourself just as much as it is required, nothing more, nothing less, and then the things are gonna start working out for you. So that was your career reading for August. Now let's see how the relationship life is gonna go for you. The first card here, that will be the Ace of Swords. Afterwards we do have the Judgment. Then it's going to be the Seven of Swords. And at the end we do have the Justice. So we do have a lot of swords cards. And this regarding relationship life, it is more likely you are going to kind of have a negotiations or conversation with either a person of interest or with your partner. Here with the Ace of Swords, it is about the truth. It is about placing an accurate diagnosis where your relationship status stands and what needs to be done afterwards. So it's kind of like sobering yourself from what is going on around you right now and realizing what the best possible approach toward the situation is. And the best possible approach here is by confronting the person of interest or your partner into one relationship with the truth about how you see the relationship or the connection itself and what you expect to happen afterwards. But the negative side of the reading here with the Judgment card, it does point that it's not going to be faced with much of an amusement, that kind of an candor of that you're going to show, all right? Because your partner most likely, or the person of interest most likely hoped that the things are going to go their way, you know, and you will never raise a voice here. But obviously you did, and that will seriously disturb them, because this time around they will have to kind of make a compromise here, which is going to be quite uneasy with them, and they will try to kind of manipulate you with the Judgment card in that particular place to kind of like drop off your demands. But the Judgment card also represents, how can I place it? It represents the new era. It represents the right path. the wake-up call. And you may find it very challenging for yourself to kind of like take those determined actions. So it's all about determination here. It is all about convictions. And if you are convinced that you deserve more and that you have to change something into your relationship, for example, as we do have the Seven of Swords here into a positive position, obviously this card points that you have been bereft over certain things. In other words, your partner is kind of gaining much more from the relationship than you do. Now it's time to turn the tide, you know. Now it's time for you to take more than what your partner, so you can reach a certain equilibrium, which is going to be reached at the end here with the Justice card, but we're going to go there into the minute. So the positivity here can be reached by you storming the situation. You should not allow these kind of predicaments that are caused by the irrational behavior of your partner or person of interest to go unnoticed. That doesn't mean that you have to kind of like smother them beneath your toe, but you have to make a note of that, and you need to make them pay in a certain way. Either that is going to be your personal freedom, or you will make them, you know, agree to something that you want to do, etc., etc. The bottom line here is that your agenda, all right, your agenda and your understanding of a relationship or of a commitment here should be kind of like framed or incorporated in the frame of the activity, of the enterprise of the relationship. Because otherwise you will have to be like a robot, you know, whatever your partner say, it has to happen. Because with the Seven of Swords, finally you will not kind of like follow someone else's battle here, but you will kind of raise for yourself, have a strong spine, you know, step for your personal rights as well, and reach an equilibrium, which happens here with the Justice card, where the rules of the game of the relationship has been rearranged, where everybody knows their responsibilities, knows how things need to work, and based on those kind of agreements, one sets up the responsibilities accordingly. So you will have your responsibilities, your partner will have their responsibilities, and that way you both are going to reach an equilibrium into your relationship. And for those which are single, it doesn't look like that they're going to involve themselves with someone very seriously, at least, because not that you're gonna lack a suitor here, but for some reason the suitor ain't gonna suit you, which is kind of like you know, weird. But because we do have all the Swords cards, and especially the Fiery card is in a challenging position, it speaks only for physical attraction, no passion whatsoever, and no emotions, at least from one of the sides. That could be the other person. So that being said, Libras, this was your extended monthly tarot reading for August 2018. I hope you enjoyed it and you liked it, and we're going to see each other around. Until then, bye.